Hello, my name is Sunil Robert. By nature, by profession, and by passion, I believe I'm a communicator. In fact, the greatest joy of my life is using my communication skills at work. In fact, if you look at my mission statement on LinkedIn, it says to use my communication skills to transform the world. Initially, I was too arrogant and I said transform the world. But many years later, more humbled, more subdued, I still say the same thing, that I'll transform my world with my communication skills. There are some young boys and girls that I encounter who come to me and say, but we don't have any resources. How do we build a brand when we have nothing? Then I tell them about the world famous rock soup. There was this young man who wanted to become successful, but he also did not have any resources. One day he was very hungry and he was going through a village. He realized that he was really so hungry that he had to get something to eat. So but he was also too proud to go and beg and ask for alms or ask for any bread just out of charity. So he said, I am coming to this village to bring the world famous rock soup. And everybody said, so what is this world famous rock soup? Then he said, I have this magic rock with me that has some magical ingredients and I'll need some other resources to make this magic soup. So he goes to the first house and he says, do you have any vegetables that you can offer to me in making this world famous rock soup? So they got some vegetables. He went to the next house and he said, can you give me some condiments and spices and other stuff that I need? So he went around from home to home and finally he had enough ingredients to cook this world famous rock soup. He ended up, and then finally, without using his rock, he made this amazing world famous rock soup. Lack of resourcefulness is one element. Being resourceful is another element. There are times when you have nothing but your dreams to propel you. There are times when you will say, what do I have here? In fact, there is a very famous phrase in the Bible that says, if you have enough faith like a mustard seed, you can move mountains. What it means is, what is your self-belief like? Again, it goes back to, who do you believe is your creator? Do you have enough faith in life's journey that whatever steps you take will ultimately lead you to your mountaintop, your own destiny? So that's one element. Always believe that if you take that little step of resourcefulness, God and the universe will conspire to help and lead you to the path of success. Then there is another element that friends ask me, what about setbacks? We don't often hit success the very first time we try. And that's where that brand perseverance comes in. The number of failures that I had outnumber the number of successes I had. So it's like a win-lose ratio. It's like a run rate. If you take a game of cricket or if you take a game of soccer, the number of attempts you take towards scoring a goal versus the actual number of goals, there will always be much smaller. So never measure yourself by the successes that you have. Actually, you got to measure yourself by the number of attempts and raids you make towards that goal. I can tell you, for every accolade I've got in my life, I'll probably have 7 accolades in which I did not make it. But nobody celebrates failure. We only see the successes. So here's my encouragement to you. Success is like an iceberg. You see the tip of the iceberg, but vast amounts of ice lays under the water which nobody can see. So you got to embrace this iceberg principle in your life and say, as long as I'm failing in private, as long as I'm trying multiple shots at the goal that I'm going after, I'm fine. Only the results will be visible to the external world. For example, when I wanted to study my MBA, all my classmates went straight through college and they finished their post-graduation. But because I did not have formal education, I was very depressed. Only I studied up till 10 plus 3 at a government polytechnic, not the most fancy college in town, but I was a little depressed that I was undereducated compared to my friends. But I kept on plodding at my work. Once, as I was working, I got enough confidence to go back and study privately. I pursued that path. And before I knew it, I finished my graduation, I finished my post-graduation, and I got my second master's degree while still working. Whereas all my friends went to college full-time and university full-time, I just finished 3 degrees, 2 master's degree and 1 bachelor's while working full-time. So, who do you think had the advantage when I just finally put my education and experience together? I did. I crushed all my classmates, and by the time my career trajectory took over, they were left behind. So just because they started early did not mean anything. I caught up and I even raced ahead of them. So setbacks became my stepping stones onto which I climbed and I moved forward. So that's my encouragement to you. No matter what obstacles might come your way, stay focused on your brand promise and you will scale mountains.